This episode has been haunting everyone for over 20 years. It seems like no one understood it when I was a kid, just like me. SB-1, the most mysterious episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. In it, Squidward suddenly found himself in an empty white space, completely alone. What was that? He died there. It was purgatory, a limp, some kind of philosophical thing. I recently rewatched it and I think understood the real meaning of this episode, and now I'll try to break it down for you. But first, let's remember what happened in it. So, Squidward wakes up on his day off and immediately starts playing the clarinet, but because of SpongeBob's alarm clock, he accidentally swells him whole. And SpongeBob sees that Squidward is awake, and he and Patrick start terrorizing him so they can go catch jellyfish together. Squidward is completely pissed off by these two, because even on his day off, they can't leave him alone and just let him do his own thing. So he hides from them at the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob and Patrick aren't stupid, so they go looking for him there. Then Squidward goes into some kind of cold storage room and accidentally locks himself in. And so 2,000 years pass. Squidward, it turns out, was there until the door fell off its hinges from old age. In short, now he finds himself in the future, sterile, empty, and where on top of that there are 500 more SpongeBob clones and who knows how many more Patrick clones. Yes, Squidward isn't happy with that, so they point him to the door with the time machine like, well, go wherever you want, but he just wants to go to a place where SpongeBob definitely won't be and ends up in the past. Well, of course, he was wrong in the past too. And there's SpongeBob and Patrick, who, by the way, didn't appreciate his clarinet playing and sent him packing. And Squidward, running away from them in a panic, broke the lever on the time machine and suddenly found himself in some unknown white space, completely empty and lonely, where only the phrase "one" echoed. Squidbeard even liked it at first, but panicked again, and he started begging to be returned home to his beloved SpongeBob. Then he breaks through the floor and finds himself in the time machine, which actually does return him home. So there are two theories about what exactly happened. One is overly mythologized, and the other is a bit stuffy. I'll tell you about them now, and explain why they're wrong and what's actually true. The first theory says that this white, empty space Squidward found himself in is purgatory, or a limb. Why? Because it's written somewhere that's exactly what they look like, but I didn't find where, by the way, and because there's no water there. Okay? But purgatory is a place where dead people go. What does Squidward have to do with it? And according to this theory, when he broke that switch, he and the time machine were crushed. And surviving after that, well, is impossible. But then, like time travel is also impossible. And surviving in a refrigerator after 2,000 years is impossible. And swallowing clarinet completely is impossible. Well, basically, I get it. Here I think, yes, this is just a theory from the category of if for alls. And it doesn't hold up even to the simplest questions. Let's move on to the next one. This one's completely off the rails. Brace yourself, it's about to get stuffy. The theory claims that the entire episode was needed so that Squidward, finding himself in a white space, would experience existential nihilism and not just go crazy from loneliness. So in this scene, he supposedly realized that his life has no predetermined meaning on the scale of the universe. He's nothing, and the world around him is nothing. And we must invent meaning for ourselves. He actually came up with meaning at the end, wanting to just go home and see SpongeBob. It seems like a neat theory. It fits well, but it's still not quite right, because remember SpongeBob. It's a cartoon series that always takes a simple problem for an episode, making it easy for us to relate to it. For example, quitting a job and jokes about it. Yes, it can be a bit over the top at times, but not to the point of truly embracing the ideas of Sartre, Cameo, Kafka, and other existentialists. So what then, you ask? Consider that Squidward is a character who can't be in the here and now. He's always annoyed by SpongeBob and Patrick. He's annoyed by his job, and he dreams of quitting. Squidward, half the town refuses to acknowledge his talent. It's as if he doesn't feel like he belongs anywhere. Everything irritates him, and the only thing he wants is to be left alone. And he's running away from his true future past. He doesn't like anywhere. He doesn't belong anywhere. So quite logically, he finds himself in absolute emptiness. There's no noise, no annoying neighbors, no work or obligations, just you, alone in your final form. This is where the main philosophy of this episode emerges. The ideal place for Squidward and his needs turns out to be an empty, lifeless space. And then you somehow realize that life actually turns at an angle that you yourself will see. And in the end, when he returns home, everything is as usual, and those idiots are nearby. And he's not angry, because for the first time, perhaps, he's begun to accept the moment as it is. After all, noise, irritation, and stupidity, these are also part of normal life, it turns out. Only he hasn't become different, of course. He just stopped running away a little. What do you think of this episode? I don't really have anything else to add, because I already said that SpongeBob takes a simple idea as the basis for one episode. This one is also simple, literally just one sentence, just a little more mature, which is probably why it's not entirely clear. Although, who knows what kind of people were writing it. Maybe it was about purgatory, right? Yeah, it's the point of view. After all, we remember. Okay, that's it. Bye. M.